And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. Well, he is an old friend. Kylie Fitz, the pride of Redlands East Valley High School, joining us. And Kylie, we haven't caught up in a while, man. A lot has changed since the last time we had a chance to chat. To get everybody caught up, well, what's the last couple of years been like for Kylie Fitz?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a crazy last couple of years. Drafted by the Bears, played there for a year, and then Cardinals picked me up after a year. So I've been out here for the last 3 years, and it's been a journey out here. I've loved it. Me and my wife fell in love with Arizona, and then we started the whole baby process, and we came away with twins with that. They were born here this January 27th, so they're only about 11 weeks right now. So my hands have been pretty full with them. So it's been quite the journey, but I'm definitely blessed for where I'm at right now.
So what you're saying is you're not sleeping very much right now.
Zero sleep. Yeah, it's probably like 2 to 3 hours a night, if that, right now.
Well, I've been there, not with twins, but I've been in that spot where, early mornings. But Kylie, listen, man, I'm so thankful that you're joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. I really do appreciate it. I've been following your career from afar, from of course UCLA to Utah to the NFL, and like you said, most recently with the Arizona Cardinals. What was that NFL experience like? Because I assume as a kid you probably dreamed of playing in the NFL, but once you got there, is it what you thought it was going to be? Was it better? Was it different? How would you kind of say the NFL was for you?
Yeah, honestly, it's been just like college, a lot of ups and downs. Like you said, it was my dream to play in the NFL, and getting drafted by Chicago was such an awesome feeling, and joining that team and just being around superstars like Khalil Mack and being able to learn from him was just a awesome experience. And then coming here to Arizona and learning from stars like Chandler Jones and guys like that, and JJ Watt. And so that's been kind of like the surreal moments where I'm like, wow, I'm really here playing with a lot of these greats. But then there's a lot of challenges as well. Just with injuries. Like I've had injuries in college, and it kind of lingered on to the NFL. And like my rookie year, I had a fractured hand and a couple ankle sprains, and then came here to the Cardinals and played a couple years, then broke my other hand, and now concussions and stuff. So it's been a battle. It's been tough. Like I said, a lot of ups and downs, but I'm definitely blessed with the career that I was able to live out.
Kylie, once you started having kids, you get married, you have twins. Did it kind of change your perspective? Like, you're listing all these injuries, and obviously, football is a very physical and brutal sport. Did it kind of open your eyes like, hey, I want to be a husband. I want to be a dad. I want to be healthy and strong and be able to, take him to the park and run around and do all those sorts of things. But, obviously the NFL and football just in general taking a toll on you, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it kind of came down to. So I've had about 5 concussions diagnosed, and my most recent one was back in October against Cleveland, and that was the scariest one, where lights went off and I had to been rushed, taken in the ambulance to the hospital, and almost felt like I was on the verge of going brain dead, and that was a really scary moment for me. And after that, I had to take a step back and realize, like, do I still want to keep doing this and maybe make it even worse? And with twins on the way, I knew I wanted to be here for them down the road when I'm 40, 50 years old, and still be present. And you just see a lot of these scary stories of former football players with their CTE and a lot of scary stories with that. And so I felt like it was just in my best interest to just take a step away and kind of retire from the game and focus on better things.
Well, Kylie, you say retire from the game. We're all curious. What's next for Kylie Fitz? Have you thought about maybe coaching, training on the side? Like, do you still want to be involved in the game somehow, or are you ready to just open up a completely new chapter?
Right now, it's kind of unknown. I'm still having some severe symptoms still from my most recent concussion. So right now I'm just taking it slow. I'm enjoying being a father right now. I mean, that's been pretty much a full-time job with these twins right now. So I'm just enjoying that right now and just taking life as it comes right now.
Kylie, looking back on your, football experience, but specifically your NFL experience, what do you think you'll miss the most? Like, what did you really enjoy? Because obviously you play to win the game, right? That was famously said. You play to win the game. But
Yeah.
But was it just the locker room camaraderie? Was it the road trips? Was it training camps? Like, what do you think you really enjoyed most about that NFL experience?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's so many awesome experiences going through the NFL, like you said, like the traveling on the private jets and all the great food and and all the glamour of being an NFL player was cool. But honestly, I think the biggest thing is, like you said, is the camaraderie, that team, just being a part of that team and having all those teammates that you kind of rely on and they rely on you, and you just build those close relationships that you can't really form anywhere else besides football. And that's for sure one of the things I'm going to miss the most. I mean, I look back at my time in college and at Redlands East Valley and all those relationships. Like, I forgot about all the wins and losses, but I always remember those relationships that I built over these last years of playing this game. And will always be grateful for my teammates and that's something I'm definitely going to miss as I pursue this next chapter.
Well, Kylie, I know Coach Bruick crossed over to the dark side, and he's over at Citrus Valley now. But do you stay in touch with Coach Kurt Bruick?
Yeah. I actually just talked to him 2 days ago. I'm planning on coming out there to the IE and talking to the players there at Citrus Valley and getting them ready for this next season. And I still stay in touch with him. Coach Tessitore, my D-line coach that was at Rev, now at Citrus as well. Talk with him pretty often. There's great coaches that I'm always grateful for. And, we'll always have that lifelong relationship.
All right, Kylie, being a defensive guy, what was the tackle in the NFL that you're going to remember the most? Was it a specific player because he was a big name player, or was it a big moment that you were able to come up and make a big tackle? Was there a specific play or tackle that you're going to, when you think back on your career, like, oh yeah, that was kind of like my signature moment or my defining moment?
Yeah, I think it came, when was it? 2020, we were playing against Seattle, our division rival, and I've always been like a backup, playing about 20, 30 snaps a game, and somebody got hurt, and I came in fourth quarter, game went into overtime, and it was playoffs on the line, and I came in, made a good TFL, got Russell Wilson down, and played just a great overtime and fourth quarter that really I felt like benefited the Cardinals and kind of helped me the rest of the year to start getting more playing time and stuff. And so that game was just awesome experience. My parents were there, all my family was there, and we won that game. And so that'd probably be the most memorable kind of playing experience in the NFL.
Did it give you confidence as well? Did it, somehow maybe ignite something inside you like, hey, I do belong here. I can play at this level for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like my career in the NFL has always been just waiting for my opportunity. And I always got to play every game, but never got a full opportunity to keep playing. And so that was my first real opportunity to play. And like I said, did good, and that gave me the confidence to move on to the rest of the year, and I ended up playing really good to finish out that year. And then the next year kept playing, but had a couple of injuries, and then the concussion that ultimately shut me down. So that's going to be the toughest thing is I felt like I had so much more potential to give to the NFL, and it's something I kind of got to live with now retiring, that I felt like I could have given a lot more to the NFL, but ultimately it was I had to do what's best for my health and for my family's health, and so yeah, I had to make that decision.
So obviously your health and being with your family is number one, priority number one, and that's great. So you're not going to pull a Tom Brady on us, right, or a Brett Favre and say, you know what, I'm only you're 27, maybe next year, next 2 years, I'll make a comeback or something.
Nah. It kind of crossed my head every once in a while, especially like as OTAs are coming. But I'm like, nah, I can't. If it had nothing to do with my head and my health, I feel like maybe I would try to come back. But these concussions are definitely nothing to play with. And as more research comes out, it just kind of confirms that, like, hey, this isn't for me right now. And I think there's definitely better things ahead, and I think God has a really good plan for my life and for my family's life, and I'm excited for this next chapter.
Well, amen, brother. Listen, you've always been one of my favorite guys. I always appreciate you making time for us here, and best of luck. I know, God has some big plans for you, so please keep in touch so we can find out what's going on with Kylie Fitz.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Pep.
Yes, sir. That is Kylie Fitz, the pride of Redlands East Valley High School, here on the Inland Sports Show.